Good morning, everybody. And hello, Tim Hortons. The Canadian version of go-go juice. So, it's going to be quick. It's going to be short. Nothing fancy. But I picked up some... I've never put stain on axe handles before. So I got special walnut and cherry. I know in general they both look pretty good for the most part. So what I'm going to do here is going to sand this finish off. This one's a pretty mangled handle. Going to sand her down, and once that is done, then I'm going to apply some of the stain just as testers, because I want to try something here, and so that's what I'm going to do with this. Anyways, we'll be back. So that's what we're going to do with this. Just do a couple samples, just see how it turns out. Just get an idea. So, give me a minute. I'm going to sand this and we will put some stain on, see what happens. We'll be right back. Alright, so after a couple of hours, with the stain, you got the cherry, and then you got the special walnut. I kind of prefer that special walnut. Got a nice little darker hue to it. Then same thing on the burnt side. The cherry made a little bit darker, but not substantially. And then special walnut, of course, like this side, there's a little bit of a shade difference. So, gonna take our chances. See how this turns out. Kind of wishy-washy on this handle. I'm gonna have to mount it and see what happens. May or may not like it too much. No, that's what's up. Washing machine's going. I'm not a fan of how this eye is, or this part of it that goes into the eye of the axe. It's catching, but not substantially. But then on the flip side of that is the center of the eye is actually catching right in the middle of this. So once I wedge it, I don't think it's going to go anywhere, to be honest. It's tight. Like when I put it in there, that tightens right up tight. So I'm gonna move on with it, see what happens. If I don't like it, then I will start from scratch all over again, and it is what it is. I just like how this did turn out, though. Let's see, just a little extra darker there. Might be able to get it out, not sure. Give her the old college go here. Might be able to thin it out a little, but it actually did a little bit. Not substantially, but it definitely helped it a little. So, you know what? We're going to move on and we'll oil this. And we'll see what happens. We'll do it in the special walnut. See, I'm not a fan of... I don't mind the cherry, actually, but I'm just not a huge fan of it. So we'll see how this turns out. Here. See if that shows up. It's still wet, but not looking bad. Oh man. Oh boy. Actually, like how it looks. I didn't know how it was going to turn out on that test wood because it's a lighter shade, but oh boy. I like it. I like it. said, I'm not a big axe person myself. I just fix stuff for me, but I know a couple people were looking for some of these certain heads that I have kicking around right now. So try to help some folks out that would like to have some of these, or you know, one, whatever. I only have a couple left, so the last couple I'm definitely keeping for myself. Oh boy. Oh boy. To me, this is all new. To some people, that's pretty normal, I suppose, but I think it looks good. Oh, kind of like that shade. That's with stain. This with linseed oil. This is with stain. Like I say, the special walnut. This one's linseed oil. The bottom one here has a couple different shades of wood actually in there to begin with too. But for the shade difference in there, you can really tell. So yeah, I like how this looks so far. I'm gonna wait a few minutes here and put a second coat on, then let it dry. Says, I was reading up on the instructions on it. It says 1 to 2 hours. I can't remember what it was. Something else, but saw something about 8 hours. I don't know if it's the type of wood or what, but it says right at the beginning. Anyways, it's 1 to 2. So like say, yeah, I'll give this another coat there afterwards. I'm going to wait a few minutes. I'm just going to pause this. Then I'm going to wait a few minutes and give her another coat. Check back in a sec. Third coat. I think that's all I'm going to leave on it. That's 3. So let her sit and dry for a couple of hours and go from there. Anyways, touch back in a bit. Hey, what's everybody up to? So tonight's project is, so I've stained this handle. I gotta oil it yet. This one is actually specifically for Mr. Bellhopper. So I gotta oil this. I gotta oil actually my other axe too. That other axe is just El Cheapo utility. Just, it gets thrown around. Camping trips, toss my side by side. One of those, I really don't care too much about it as long as the head stays on it. So what Mr. Bellhopper doesn't know yet is he knows he's getting a hatchet. I don't think he knows at all that what's going on with it. So the ones I donated, this style, you know, they got wear and tear. So I've been trying something. Me and Mr. Letts have been talking a little bit about this whole idea. So we go from this to, this is just a test piece I've been testing on. I gotta sand down the this one's actually the head for that handle. So I'll use this one as an example. We're gonna go from this, and I'm shooting for this. I kind of like how this looks, and from what I can tell, it seems to be fairly durable. And I'll get into what it is in a minute for those who don't know. So that's what's my pliers, is trying to see how scratch, whatever resistant it is, And it's not crazy, but it's not bad. It should be better than this side. Yeah. It's hard to tell in the picture, but you can see the shininess from those scuffs. But you can see the shininess there too, but you can still see there's a little bit of bluing left in it. So what I'm using is Birchwood Super Blue. It's actual gun bluing. So I have yet to do this on a whole entire head. I'm going to sand that one down. This is a bit of a process, as I've been discovering that so you think that's all bare metal in there, and you know what, it probably partially is, but if you look at the machining marks, it leaves little, anyway, so it leaves like little deep grooves in there. So the problem is until you get that sanded right nice and smooth, the gun blue doesn't penetrate properly. I don't know if this will show up. Right there, you can see the machining marks still. That was after just going over the surface, sanding it, in comparison to this. So I got some time to put into this yet, but you know what, let's get this oiled and we'll see how this turns out, because I stained it 2 weeks ago now, so I don't work with stains. This is like the second time in my life ever using a stain, and the last time I did, I never used any sort of linseed oil on it. So here, one second. It's still a disaster up here, but I've been working on saws, working on axes, working on anything and everything. It's been pretty hectic. So with linseed oil, or applying even stain, just want to make sure this is just a washed bag of bulk rags that I buy. I got a knife on me. I really don't need a rag that big. There we go. Love this Gerber. It's seen better days, but works great. Definitely has a utility knife. It's nothing super fancy. I got my SOG somewhere, but it's down here somewhere. Probably my hunting bag still. Put that knife back in the pocket. So let's see how this turns out. So what's new with everybody? Winter's finally upon us. We've been sitting at like minus 21 or so. So 21 nights. It's been on definitely the really chilly side. Alright, let's see how this looks. Oh, that looks good. Oh, sorry guys. So just remember, this is only first coat. I'm going to leave it sit for a little bit. Actually probably oil the other axe there, and just give this time to set in a little bit. Then I will give it another coat. I'm just trying to rub it in really good, just to work it into the grain and the stain. Man, this is going to be a nice piece when it's done. I don't even know what the type of oak this was originally, to be honest with you. It started out as a pretty dark color to begin with. And then, what was the name of this stain? Special Maple, I think it was. Can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. I'd have to go double check, but with the linseed oil, I understand you want to leave it on, wipe it off, but and the more you rub it in, apparently the more it penetrates. But because I have a stain on here, I don't know how well it's going to penetrate, to be honest with you. It's definitely going to penetrate a bit, but I don't think you can get as deep into the wood. but I could be wrong. But man, that is looking nice. Oh man, love how that's turning out. I actually wish I actually had more handles like this. This is just a repurposed handle, to be honest with you. It was busted off another axe or another hatchet, and but it started, like I say, a really dark grain. But I'm gonna let this sit for a bit. Let's see, yeah. Man, that is beautiful. Like, maybe it's just me. I think it's beautiful. That bellhopper, you're getting yourself a real pretty axe. That is for dang sure. Now let's see, just for giggles, with a test head. Actually, that looks really good. I think it does anyways. Everybody has different taste buds, but I think it looks good. Hey, back.
You ready to riff? I'm ready. What are you driving? I'm driving the Commander at first.